Former President Goodluck Jonathan, hey, wetin he talk don't blow the internet. Oh, in fact, he don't come out come talk say he no dey support Tinubu. Say because wetin happen for our neighboring country Burkina Faso, he say they look am make e no come happen for Nigeria. Oh, he say whereby they allow the rule of law take their place. You dey bribe. You dey bribe judiciary. You dey bribe this one. You dey bribe down. You dey bribe certificate. You dey bribe this one. You dey use kuru wuru till they enter. He say masses saying if they come out, he say not even soldier fit stop them. Oh, wetin this man talk, e make sense. So he just show say man, na politics. So at the same time, everybody they look say they no want war for Nigeria. The man don't come out, don't stay clear. He don't tell Tinubu say come, let the judiciary do their work, not bribe them. My people, this video don't go viral. Mukuna watch am. He not stop for there on the nave bolofua. Na there Papa Lamidi and all the babalawo constantly they come out to dey hear the wuru that they do for LEP. Hey, my people, e no end for there. Oh, mo coulda try, mo coulda watch am. In fact, the Senate, the House of Rep, be the Ziwikoro wey be say they put for Tinubu nominates. Cause they put all the people they put, they deport, they put for there. Hey, they say that family member, one family, one big family, na dey be. Say in fact, if I know you, I put you there. You're not even competent again. I go let the video play. Make una watch it. In fact, anywhere they drag us go, we go drag the comeback. They say we go give up. Na lie, we go nowhere. We are here. Hey, my person a big Bod TV board. We already analyze all the trends where they happen. Don't forget to share, like, and subscribe. Now do well, wakoyo.
We are meant to do. Let us not, because the judiciary is very conservative, try to blackmail them or squeeze them. Sometimes when we have political powers, we get blinded. They say sometimes your wisdom is consumed with confidence. When we bear the big name, president, governor, all the speakers and so on, we become so blinded, especially even in the security services. When you're holding certain positions, become so blinded. But society is changing, and we must learn, we must admonish ourselves. And civil society is becoming very, very active. And certain things that probably we do and get away with it, we may not get away with it tomorrow. If we take laws into our hands and try to squeeze society, young people will react. It happens when I was a president in a sister country, Burkina Faso, where by their law, if the president is not there because they have no vice president, it's the speaker of the parliament that will take over the country and manage the country. The president wanted to amend the constitution so you go for a third tenure. And from the thinking of society, the parliament was compromised, so the speaker was to do it. The young people in Burkina Faso, the civil society, they mobilized and moved in to the parliament to kill the speaker. The security people couldn't defend it. The speaker has to run away. They burned down the parliament, the national parliament of that country. The mob moved into the state house to attack the president. The president defense squad that was even stronger than national army couldn't stop the mass movement. Otherwise, you kill everybody. The president has to run to Cote d'Ivoire. The country was in a quagmire. Their constitution said the president is not there, the speaker. Now the president ran away, the speaker ran away. Nobody to take over power. The military have to step in. So we, the politicians, and those of us who are holding sensitive security positions should know that society is changing so much and that we should do everything based on the rule of law.
To us, in this committee, and by extension National Assembly, pending the recommendation to the House by this committee, at the risk of perhaps sounding immodest, waiver is a fraud. Because agencies are hiding under waiver to recruit their family members, to recruit their friends, to recruit those that give them money, to sell slots, etc., etc.
Yeah, I saw the statement coming out from your office about these allegations of extortion. Is it true that yourself and some members were collecting money from these agencies?
Read again. They didn't mention me. I was not part of the allegation. But as a chairman of the committee, I should not allow the name of the committee to be ridiculed. So there is nowhere in the whole of the publication that it was alleged that I was suspected or even accused of. The only thing I was called on phone by a reporter of the publication asking whether I'm aware of that. And I told him I'm not aware of that. So accusation was on a member of the committee, as the publication have, not on the chairman of the committee or members of the committee. I think it was referred to a member of a committee.
And which is and
when he called,
is that the name of the member?
I think so. That was what they published.
From Osun State,
yes.
Right.
So when they called me, I told them who alleged that allegation. As a journalist, if there is an allegation against an individual and you can publish the name of the person you are thinking, x-raying his antecedents and what have you, what stopped you from mentioning specifically the name of the person that alleged that person was engaged in him in anything? So I should have expected to be fair to the situation, not to be... Why we fools, we did not align and agree with that publication is it was concluded that he have done that. So if you are suspecting that, approach the chairman. You've called me on phone. I've told you I'm not aware. But I've asked you, you say Vice Chancellor. Who was the Vice Chancellor? In the first instance, we invited Vice Chancellors of the universities across Nigeria. We invited polytechnic colleges of education. If you check that publication, they said that the engagement included rectors of the federal polytechnics. Meanwhile, they have not even appeared before the committee. So how would any activities would have transpired between whosoever they are suspecting with the rectors of the... So we have our reservation. But again, I think as a chairman of this committee, I should be very careful in making comment about some of those things. I know there was nothing like that, but Wale Oke will be back to explain if there is anything like that. But to the best of my ability, when university vice chancellors appear before the committee, we have not even interacted with them. The only thing that was collected publicly with members of the press there was their addresses. They make submission through the National University Commission, and a separate date was put together for them to appear individually based on one university after another.
Honorable, there are inferences that the reason for this kind of extortion is such that some of those who appear will be given a soft landing against some of the things that
in following the activities of the committee. Can you say that there is one agency that was not scrutinized to the best of our ability? This is the first committee that we know we are under oath as public office holders, and we subject the agencies appearing before us under oath before interrogating them. So tell me, if there had it been the activities and the antecedent of the committee suggest that there is soft landing for anybody, then you can say that. You can say that, yeah, we have seen example in the video and picture, we have seen you interrogating agencies that you give soft landing to others. So therefore...
What is the inference that are being made, Honorable? And you imagine that if you are probing a corruption, an allegation of corruption is being leveled against your committee members, what do you think naturally should be done?
That is why I say Wale Oke is not in the country. When he returns back to the country, he will be given the opportunity.
And you know what happened, Honorable? A lot surfaced. In fact, his own altercation with Honorable Abdulmumin Jibrin about 6 years ago or thereabout, where issues came up and these similar allegations are being leveled against him.
There is fundamental difference.
Have you seen that?
There is fundamental difference.
Have you seen that publication too?
Yes, but there is fundamental difference between this and the previous allegations. In the area of Abdulmumin Jibrin, Farouk Lawal, there is consensus between the person that alleged and proof from the person that equally have said to be. They have made publication of sensitive information. So first thing first, let the universities, we conduct our hearing open. Let the university come and appear before the committee on Friday.
How easy would that be? Because they are going to appear before you.
Just like
there's going to be a fear factor to think that if they appear before you.
If the Vice Chancellor is not scared to mention that a member of your committee have approached him for financial exchanges, to even give the fourth realm of the estate, members of the fourth realm of the estate, those information? Why will he be scared to tell that? It means he's mischievous. Let him come before the committee.
In the course of your work in any way,
it doesn't.
Does it take away the fact that Nigerians may not be able to trust your committee work?
Am I the chairman that is being accused?
I'm asking, a member of your committee is being asked.
We have a committee of 39 representatives with about 7 co-opted members. You choose one person, not the leader of the committee, that is the chairman of the committee, not even the clerk of the committee, and that undermines
for the sake of natural justice. Well, what do you think should be done? If there is an allegation on one person in that committee, should that person be seated? What does the law say about issues of morality, issues of natural justice?
In this situation, he is innocent until he is found guilty. So it's left for the explanation he will provide to the committee as well as the leadership.
Are you going to probe that member too?
It's not within our mandate to probe him. Our mandate is to probe Job Rekatiari, not to probe a member of the committee. The leadership that put in place the committee knows the question to ask regarding to what happened, as per the allegation against 1 out of 37 members of that committee.
How mind-boggling are some of your investigations? I mean, what do you have?
You have seen it, and that is why I say if we have not been transparent and fair, you would have given me one example in the area of trying to give soft landing to anybody. We have not. We've seen this situation as a situation that is aimed at rescuing our public sector. We have seen what we have seen. Maybe if you have not
discovered, Honorable.
A lot. One, yes.
How bad? How bad?
Very, very bad. As dirty as anything you may look at. When you have a situation whereby institution responsible for capturing of people to be enrolled in IPPIS have been accused of conniving perhaps with even some of the university when they recruited 200 and you end up capturing 300 against the budgetary provision of the government.
So the money goes into people's personal pockets?
Certainly. We have probed that.
Coming from your for your probe, we've also seen where people said that they were being paid to buy.
That is why I don't want to play in the hand of politics. Perhaps people want to divert the attention of the committee. They have not seen anywhere they will accuse the chairman of the committee. Therefore, they have issues with one member of the committee. They are accusing him to distract us from the central attraction of what we are doing. By the special grace of God, I keep on giving assurance that this ad hoc committee will be one of the best committee and a committee that haven't submitted report on the floor. We will pay, and such report should be publicized so that the citizen of this country will know which agency and which agency are defrauding them from their taxpayers' money. We are not going to be moved from that. When I saw this allegation, let me get even back to it. I try to caution members of the committee not to be instigated and mention some of our findings. If you have a situation whereby you send IPPI's officers to go to federal institution and capture, then you have ghost workers added to the number of legitimately recruited civil servants, and you have find out that you are engaging such personality, and you begin to hear some of these allegations. I will not equally want to conclude that they want to deliberately and systematically, try to lock our mouth from allowing them to come to face Nigerians and speak justice. And by God's grace, people will see what will unfold in the next future, in the next days.
So, there is this fear. You remember the Honorable Hembe Committee and what happened with the chair, with the ED of SEC. You remember.
That is why we summon the vice chancellors. Instead of them to come next week, we ask them to come on Friday at the point that this thing is going on. If the person they are accused have done that, they should behave like a Hembe situation. I want a head of the agency that...
And remember what happened in the NDDC matter?
That I remember. I want them to come and off the
Honorable off the mic.
Yes. So I want them to come. If there is anything like that, I'm sure.
You are the chair now.
I'm the one
I hope you will not off the mic at that time.
Certainly I will not.
When people are spilling.
They will not spill against me. It's a different situation. They have the purpose.
Your hands are clean.
My hands are clean. They have not even accused me. Rather, they call me to confirm whether that thing is like that. So, if you come to speak, you are speaking against the person you are accusing, And he wouldn't be the one to off the mic or on the mic. I'm the one to control the mic, whether it should be
Honorable
off or on.
Gagri, would this be the dirtiest thing you've discovered as a public officer within the public space in Nigeria?
In times of public sector, public service, yes, I agree. This is one of the if I don't want to preempt our position. I don't want Nigerians. I don't want at this point in time. We have procedure. We are committees. We are asked to investigate, to report on the floor of the House, to discuss our report by 360 members, to refer it to a committee of the whole. Decision will be taken on our recommendation at the end of the day. So
people were just employing their cronies.
Definitely.
They were just populating.
In the names of waiver, he will apply to Federal Character Commission, collect waiver. Waiver, what is waiver? There is no even place for waiver in the provision, in the act establishing the federal character. There is no any provision that waiver should be granted. Waiver is a creation of the federal character to be able to, perhaps the intention was good, but now waiver is to give agencies the power not to advertise vacancies within their agencies for recruitment. If you have waiver, you have the right to collect CVs from the back door, package them, whether there is federal character representation or non-federal character representation, award, give appointments to people that you may so wish. And in that situation, it suffocates the common man on the street who have gone to school, who is first-class holder.
So you cannot easily apply for a job if you don't know somebody.
You will, before you hear of the job have been shared among either political office holders,
this also brings to the fore, because
and what
in the appointment of President Tinubu, there are allegations of people within and around in the kitchen cabinet of the president, and your very good friend and brother, Femi Gbajabiamila, is the chief of staff. There are those also who have raised issues about appointment and federal character, even under President Tinubu.
That is why, in my opinion, I don't want to exonerate even the member of my committee that was accused. But I have this myopic in court understanding regarding to performance. You cannot be doing well and expect people not to hit you or slap you. But they will not come to your face and slap you if you are doing well. I am expecting the accusation and the attack on my friend, brother, and leader, my boss, Right Honorable Femi Gbajabiamila, to be there. So as long as he's doing his job accordingly, you don't expect people not to pass as passion as him. And if you know the responsibility of the chief of staff, to the president, to the governor, to the local government, you are the engine room politically of government activities regarding to your principal, regarding to the president in the case of Femi Gbajabiamila. And so, you are the president, in other words. You can be called not in times of powers, because you are the image maker of Mr. President. His decision, you are the first to see president in the morning by virtue of being the chief of staff, and you are the last to see him. So in this circumstance, even if you see the president and he abused you in the morning, nobody knows. If you are going to sleep as the last person to leave him, and he abused you, nobody knows. As far as the general public are concerned,
so you trust
sees president in the morning and in the night. Therefore, any decision of the president, Femi must have influenced it. And I believe, again, that is greatly unfair to the chief of staff, to the president. Because, one, looking at the political pedigree of Mr. President, to say that his chief of staff will be the sole determinant of his decision, you are underrating and undermining the achievement of Mr. President, his political achievement, in times of being a senator of the Federal Republic, in times of being a governor, 2 times governor in this country that passed through teething trouble to survive as a governor of Lagos, and in terms of various other political experience that Mr. President has. So you cannot look at some of us, Yusuf Gagdi, for instance, and say that all is not well. The chief of staff to the president is the one controlling and coordinating the direction of Mr. President. I will tell you, no, that is not the kind of president that Nigeria have. We have a president that knows his left from his right. We have the president that knows wrong from the right. We have the president that knows decision that is in the best interest of his administration. We have a president that come prepared to know what he wants to achieve. That certainly you cannot tell me someone remote control him at this level.
But if you look at what is going on at the moment, there are those who have raised flags against the appointment and some of the cabinet members of President Tinubu, that those who say they are disappointed, that they were expecting, they have a level of expectations, but their expectations were cut short.
Are you telling me that the people that were appointed have no capacity to deliver?
I mean, they're Nigerians, and they have the right to raise questions and eyebrow about their, about the appointment if they have
Mention to me one person that doesn't have the capacity to be
I'm asking a direct question
my answer
on
to you
what
is
Nigerians feel about the caliber of persons based on their expectations on the president of the formation of cabinet, based on what he has done in Lagos. They said, look, he's a talent hunter. Do you think that this cabinet meets the expectations of
I will
Nigeria?
answer that, but Sheon, are you telling me that Nigerians or some Nigerians, few Nigerians, people have right to say what they want to say? It's politics. People reserve the right to judge the ministers.
So 100%,
you have just appointed
100%
people.
This cabinet is perfect.
It's perfect. You have just appointed people. You didn't give them the benefit of the doubt to perform. You are drawing conclusion that they cannot do anything. We have seen people that Nigerians doesn't know them, that were imported from abroad in the past regime, and they have come to do better than the people you think they can do better. In the past, we have seen people that you have confidence in them, that you think if giving them the opportunity to serve in the Federal Executive Council, they will do better.
Even with a lot of controversies surrounding the personality, the profile, the background, educational issues surrounding some of those the president have appointed. You think that some Nigerians are not right in their criticism of the caliber of president that President Tinubu have put together?
I am not a senator, so I'm not privileged to have those complaints against those individuals. But again, Sheon, we are in a political era that in this circumstance, both the ruling party and the opposition party, in terms of political patronages, people are envious of one another. As you are sitting down here, let your CV be taken to the National Assembly and see whether they will not say you always wear blue tie. Meanwhile, they know you are on red tie. So people they will define your eyeglass and tell you that it is meant to correct short-sightedness. Meanwhile, you are just doing it for fashion. So until you are given the opportunity to benefit from political patriotism, you will know who loves you and who doesn't.
You think that this cabinet will perform?
I don't believe, therefore, that the allegations may be true. It may come from political enemies of those people that were appointed. And I equally do not undermine the National Assembly, the Senate of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, that have opened through the pages of the curriculum vitae of those that have benefited from Mr. President's appointment, and you tell me 109 people will not have tell you that there are incriminating issues against some certain individuals and therefore they cannot be confirmed. Why will I believe on people that could have their political differences with those appointees? Finally, the cabinet will perform. I am very optimistic. And as a Nigerian, I want you to be optimistic too, because you have to give them benefit of the doubt. Because people are nominated, are just appointed, you begin to cast aspersion at them, you begin to discourage them. That is Nigeria for you. I expect us to pray for them and to give them the opportunity to showcase their talent and see how they will partner with Mr. President in taking Nigeria to the next level.
Is it a matter of casting aspersion? These are questions to put these people on their toes, isn't it?
It's not to discourage them, it's not to put them.
If you're asking a question about the capacity of someone and his profile, pedigree, capacity in a particular role, is it aspersion? You are just asking a
when you are equally accusing the person of non-qualification, is not qualified to occupy those positions, you think it's not aspersion?
So Nigerians are not right to raise
Nigerians are right to say that you do have the capacity to deliver. But those other Nigerians that are saying, that are trying to pull those nominees down unnecessarily without any concrete reason, it's not supposed to be like that. We should, as a representative of the people, wait and see if these ministers fail. Some of us will call them with their fathers and mothers' name. But at this level, what do you expect?
Some Nigerians cannot wait for another failure because Nigerians have really
so we should assume
and hurt. No, just a moment. Nigerians are now benefiting or suffering from the failures of the past. We don't have time for failures any longer.
That is what we should say.
There is no time for failure.
That is what we should say. And we should do the right thing, support the people that are put in place, and tell them we cannot tolerate, just like Mr. President did tell them in the inaugural Federal Executive Council meeting. Nigerians have high expectation on you. Nigerians will not be patient to tolerate failure. I, the president of Nigeria, will not tolerate failure. This is how we should behave. Give them the benefit of the doubt. I'll pray for them. Allow them to showcase their talent and see whether they will recover the economy of Nigeria, whether they will partner with Mr. President for serious infrastructural transformation, whether they will right the wrongs that is in the four angles of Nigeria.
Complaint against Monday Mawa. Gross professional misconduct, violative of Part 4 and 5 of the Rules of Professional Conduct 2023, amounting in law to infamous conduct and conduct unbecoming of a legal practitioner. Statement of fact. Sir, it is indeed with great trepidation that we write, given that this is a season of politicking and political turmoil, where even otherwise profoundly discreet, prudent, and circumspect people nurse no compunction or reservation about casting their peers before the swine. We are in a democracy, and stringent opposition to our party's candidates' emergence is expected. We have not been left disappointed, even if we have been a little surprised by the nature and provenance of these attacks. We are, however, surprised and taken aback that a member of the revered legal profession has thrown caution to the winds and has embarked on a voyage to spread false news, to bring both the bar and the bench to program. Delivering his judgment on the 24th August 2023, while the Court of Appeal sitting in Abuja was delivering its judgment, in appeal numbers CA/OW/CS/200/2023, and another appeal CA/OW/CX/201/2023, to wit, Sir Bassey Maduka versus Labour Party and two others, and Labour Party versus Bassey Maduka and two others, respectively. One Mr. Monday Mawa, a legal practitioner of Templum Solicitors of 84 Obafemi Awolowo Avenue, Abeokuta, Ogun State, with Abuja address as Suite 87, 3rd floor, Trinity House, Mabushi, Abuja, who is not a counsel in the matter and was not in court when the judgments were delivered, went on air on Channels Television and falsely, maliciously, and with intent to deceive, confirmed to the whole world that the decision of the Court of Appeal and the two appeals was the purported Lamidi Apapa-led faction of the Labour Party was declared as the authentic leadership of the Labour Party, and that the court had ordered that the names of candidates that emerged as winners in a purported primary election conducted by Lamidi Apapa faction be forwarded to INEC to be imputed as the candidates of Labour Party for the 2023 gubernatorial elections fixed for later in the year. The said Mr. Monday Mawa, that the said Monday Mawa, who is not a counsel in the matter and was not in court when the judgments were delivered, went on air on Channels Television and falsely, maliciously, with intent to deceive, confirmed to the whole wide world that the decision of the Court of Appeal in the two appeals was that the purported Lamidi Apapa-led group of the Labour Party was declared as the authentic leadership of the Labour Party, and that the court had ordered that the names of the candidates that emerged as winners in the purported primary election conducted by Lamidi Apapa faction be forwarded to INEC to be imputed as the candidates of the Labour Party for the 2023 gubernatorial elections fixed for later in the year. The said Mr. Monday Mawa falsely stated in an interview that the Court of Appeal had upheld the decision of the trial court, which the court never did. We put here the link where you can get that interview, the channel interview. I will give it to you after this statement. This utter falsehood, as openly stated on live television by the said Mr. Monday Mawa, was contrary to the decisions of the Honorable Court in its judgments in the appeals. In the Basil Maduka's appeal, the Court of Appeal sitting in Abuja dismissed the appeals simpliciter and held that the appellant had no local standing to institute the proceedings. In the Labour Party's appeal, the court held that the appeal was not necessary as the decision of the trial court was in its favor and that the mere comment of the trial judge in his judgment did not consist an appealable decision and should be discountenanced. In none of the two appeals, the Honorable Court proclaimed the orders that the said Mr. Monday Mawa had gone to town with and had impetuously proclaimed on live television to the whole world. So it is quite unbecoming that a lawyer of Monday Mawa's apparent ripe years at the bar should be allowed to continue to practice as a legal practitioner in Nigeria after putting out such riotous lies, which has now had the far-reaching ripples effect of painting the judiciary as a confused institution. By this conduct, Mr. Monday Mawa contravened Part 4 and 5 of the Rules of Professional Conduct, which deals with a lawyer's relations with the court and improper attraction of business. Our prayer goes as thus. We call on the committee to immediately commence the process of disciplining Mr. Monday Mawa for infamous conduct, infringing on the provisions of the Rules of Professional Conduct, to wit, Part 5, Relations with Court, and Part 4, Improper Attraction of Business, especially Rules 31, Duty of Lawyer to Court and Conduct in the Court, Rule 32, Candid and Fair Dealing, Rule 33, Trial Publicity, Rule 39, Advertising and Soliciting, and Rule 47, Instigating Controversy and Litigation. Lawyers like Mr. Monday Mawa pose a grave threat to the bar and the bench in a society of impressionable and gullible laymen like Nigeria. He should be disciplined, lest innocent Nigerians begin to take his words with more than a pinch of salt. Thank you so much. But let me also say, because here I have the CTC of the judgment of the appeal court, the two judgments that were delivered that very day. If you look at this judgment, it is Sir Basil Maduka, the appellant, and Labour Party 1, respondent, Independent National Electoral Commission 2, and Chief Ukebu Ikechukwu Joseph 3. You will not in any way see where they mentioned the name of Julius Abure. You will not see in any way where they mentioned the name of our candidate in Imo State. The court mainly dealt on substantive motion brought before it. But because the said appellant, Mr. Basim Maduka, was aggrieved that the primaries that produced Chief Ukebu was fault. And he was asking the court, both the lower court and the appeal court, to stop the recognition of Mr. Ukebu. The Labour Party led by Julius Abure was not put on notice. The Labour Party that Apapa claimed to lead was one who went to the court, and they represented themselves there. And we also find out that these two men are working together. Both the Ukebu and Maduka, they are working together. They are working for Apapa. So they are going to create impression that Labour Party has been asked to recognize the winner of the election, and therefore that the name should be sent to INEC. But that is far from what transpired in the court. If you read a section of the judgment, it says, however, it will be improper for the court to make any pronouncement on the leadership dispute, of the first respondent, in this case, Labour Party, in this pronouncement of the leadership in the first respondent, in this appeal, as nothing in the notice of appeal here justifies it. It is improper for a court to go beyond the dispute submitted before it. So the dispute was very clear between the appellant and the respondent. Who won their primaries? The concocted primaries, the fake primaries conducted by unknown members of the party. Because they are not recognized by Labour Party. They have since been expelled from the party, some are on suspension. But suddenly they came together and claimed that they are the authentic leaders of Labour Party. Simply because a court in Abuja here gave a substantive order, a restraining order to Julius Abure and 3 others. But we have gone ahead to appeal it. The appeal court said that the lower court should stay execution of whatever thing until they decide the outcome of the appeal. The appeal is still there, has not been decided. And based on that, you appointed yourself the deputy, the acting national chairman of the party. In this party, we have 3 deputies. So, and in the constitution of the party will decide among the 3 deputies who takes over, assuming that Abure is no longer the chairman. So there's 5 men in the executive of about 18 came together and decided to create problem for the party, decided to break away from the party, and decided to start dishing out misinformation, lies. This is the CTC, very clear about that. You cannot see the name of our candidate, actually, both in Imo State, Kogi State, and Bayelsa State. They were not part of it, but they have gone ahead. The lawyer went ahead and said what the appeal court did not say. From beginning to the end of this, you will not see their names there. So that is why we are grieved, because we can understand when politicians are talking. But a man that calls himself a lawyer, going on air, on a national television to dish out lies, propaganda, mischief, it's something that will not encourage. And that is why we are taking this step, so that a disciplinary action must be taken against him. That is the essence of why we call this meeting. Thank you so much. When the judgment came, and we are not told, we are not put on notice, so we realized, in fact, it was from their press briefing, that we realized that there was a matter before the court. So our candidate rushed to the court and said, please, we were not aware of this thing. Put us as a party. Let us join us as interested party to this. They said no, that he filed out of time. That he can no longer be. But this appeal court made it clearer. Appeal court now said that we do not even need to bother ourselves. Why? Because we are not even part of what they did. That it is their thing. That we are not part of what they did. Do you understand? And you remember that on the 5th or thereabout, the appeal court in Benin had recognized Abure as the authentic national chairman of Labour Party. So you cannot remove him because based on declaration, ex parte order, when there is a judgment, both at the lower court and the higher court. And the party has its constitution. If you want to remove a chairman, you will have to go to the constitution of the party. Do you understand? You have to go, you call a NEC for that purpose. The NEC will sit and elect among the deputies. We have 3 deputy chairmen. We elect among them. But these people were in a hurry. They were in a hurry to grab position. The moment the order came, ex parte order that lasts for 14 days maximum, and their own is lasting for eternity. Ex parte order, if it is not renewed after 14 days, it has elapsed. And that's what the law says. And their own is lasting for eternity. But they couldn't do anything because there is a court appeal that's already said that they should stop whatever they are doing. So let them see if the court has the jurisdiction. Because that's what we are saying. We are saying that that court that gave the judgment does not even have jurisdiction. Say, appeal court, please help us. There are cases with that judge himself that he did. And Supreme Court reversed him. Appeal court reversed it and Supreme Court okayed it. The same manner. Internal matters of the party remains an internal matters of the party. So long as you have not gone astray of the rule, the laws of your party. I want all of you to understand this matter so that you will be arguing from point of knowledge.